So I think it's recording. I hope so.
I think it is too.
Nice to see you, Rebecca.
Nice to see you too,
Not
Mia.
really in real life, but better than Instagram, at least.
Yes, connected in space and time for a moment.
Yeah. I would like to hear a little bit the history. Why are you doing this? Why are you so interested in the subjects?
Yes, so I have been researching people's experiences of people pleasing and perfectionism, and I think it's kind of twofold or threefold, but essentially, I've been called back to do this work with people to help to serve others. And when I was getting real with myself about what, based on my journey, what would be the best thing that I'm equipped to help people with. These two themes came up, people pleasing and perfectionism, because it's been, I would say that's like the thing that I've struggled with the most on my personal growth journey.
Mhm.
And so, everyone has their unique struggles and things like that. And this is just something that I've really lived. And so that motivated me to do this research because I have my own experiences, but I think it's really valuable to hear other people's stories and see where they're at on the journey. And so yeah, I want to learn, I want to connect with people, and also I'm hoping to have it all inform an offering that I can create in the future. So right now I'm hoping to create something for women who are spiritually minded that are struggling with people pleasing and perfectionism.
Mhm.
Sometimes I also tack on their overthinking because that's also a part of it. Um, yeah, and I think it was, I'll just add one more thing. I think it was a little tough for me to like narrow it down to these specific labels because um yeah, I feel like there's like a deeper theme underneath it all, which is just the fear, like living in fear versus living in love. And sometimes I really want to like dwell in these like bigger spiritual topics. But But yeah, if I have to like float up to the surface and see some of the labels that maybe I would like apply to myself and like the struggle from the journey, those would be the themes, people pleasing, perfectionism, and
Mhm.
overthinking. Yeah.
Interesting. No, I did a little bit of meditation this morning to say what universe told me that I should tell you, and then um, I think it's very much about, it's some people pleasing sounds negative. Like you said, it comes from fear. You're afraid of not being accepted, not being good enough, not being worthy, not being, whatever. And the most important thing is where we come from. If we come from fear, then it will be on a mental state that we are thinking that we need to do things, we need to have it. It's like it doesn't come from the heart. But if and also you said that a lot of people are here on earth now. A lot of women are very sensitive. We are pleasing. We are very often into abusive relationship and ships in different ways. And I think that a lot of us are here because we are here to serve humanity. We are here to serve, and I think that the energy in people pleasing and serving is it comes from the same concept, but when you are in a low vibration, it comes from the ego, and then it gets negative. It gets negative for you. It gets negative for others because it's also then if you please others, it comes with a price tag because you please them because you want something. So it's not really giving. It's more of you get into something, a game sort of. And the more we can develop and the higher we can get in frequency, we can connect to source. And you can call it God, you can call it just source, you can call it nature, you can call it the existence or whatever you want. But the life source, the endless resources of life and energy. And if we can tap into that, then we can just serve from a not submissive perspective, but from a powerful perspective, because we have this connection, so we can just, you know, we are flooding over with emotions and love, and we want to help and we want to do, but because it will never end, and you never get tired, you never get exhausted, because this is endless resources that comes flooding through you, and then you are at service from source to humanity. But when you're still in the ego ego state, then it's more survival. You want to be like better than others. There's always competition, and like I say, it's an exchange, because you don't want to please people if you don't get what you want. And sometimes you can please bad people because you think you're helping them, and you think you're serving you are at service, but you're actually giving the wrong thing to, you know, it's, you're still in the game, you're a part of the game. So if you find a relationship with a narcissist, for example, you will please this person, but this will not help him, because you're just feeding his ego behavior. So it's nothing really good is coming into it. It's still a part of this exchange
Yeah.
patterns that we are stuck in. So I think it's more about where do you come from, where do you want to go, and if we can start, which I think more and more people now start to realize, that we are not here to be slaves, like we talked about a little bit before recording. More and more people realize that there is energy, there is a source, there is somewhere where we can get the energy from. We can connect to nature, we can connect to our passion and creativity, and we can get energy instead of just playing in this programming. Like we also mentioned before, we are programmed. We believe that things has to be in a certain way. We are brainwashed in so many ways. But now I think it's like like a chicken and an egg. It's like ding ding, we're getting out of this, and now we are like, oh, there's
Yeah.
something more out here. We can find better ways, other ways to do it, where we don't drain ourselves, and also when we're not supporting other people's games that are not really beneficial for them either. So we can start new ways to do things. But of course,
Yeah.
it's not done in a day. It's a
Yeah.
work, which is why I am doing what I am doing. I'm coaching people. I do retreat, and my dream is that we can have like bigger education places where people can come for a weekend or for a few years, and to reprogram, relearn, recharge. We need so much redoing, so that we can change this pleasing energy into a humble at service, from power, not submissive kind
Yeah.
of.
Yeah, it really, everything you're saying really resonates with me. I was just reflecting on this recently about yeah, there's like this human urge to want to serve others, and I feel like it's just very pure and innocent and like natural. And you're so right. Like we come into this world with this urge, and then things get tainted by fear based on like our experiences, or I think there's a lot that happens in, families and communities and school even, that just like muddies the waters of, because it's so interesting, when you enter into the world of like personal growth and self-help, there's this obsession with like living in your purpose. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like, oh, go back to when you were young and like what did you want to do then? And I've had a lot of trouble with finding something concrete, you know, especially because I think the conditioning to people please started so young. But when I when I get really honest about it, it's like, well, I've always just said I want to help people. That's been like the innocent desire that's like come up within me. And but I just received a lot of external circumstances that muddied the waters of what that looked like and what it means to give to others and receive from others, and then also that underlying fear. Like I think people pleasing is that urge to give, but there's fear behind it instead of the urge to give with, this like foundation of love, like you said.
Mhm.
And it's really it is like a practice to unlearn all those things. And I've noticed with myself, because the programs or the conditioning is so strong. And I guess I don't want to I almost don't want to talk crap about it because the brain is so great at what it does. It's like this amazing computer that like gets its program and then it sticks to it. And in order to learn a different way, something that's been really helpful for me is having like people and places that help me consistently remind me that there is this other way, and consistently remind me of like this other path and this other way to do things. Because if I'm left to my own devices, I just fall back into those old patterns.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, I'm hoping that I think there's a lot, like you said, there's a lot of us that are kind of like rising up to do this type of work, and we need these people to do these things because people, it's so helpful to have just a person to walk next to you to remind you, oh, you can think about this in a different way. Oh, you can look at this in a different way if you want to, if
Mhm.
you're ready.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No, like I said, I think a lot of people are on the planet now to help humanity, to be at service. But exactly like you said, when we come here, we forget everything. So we get a little bit lost in this, and very important here is to not judge yourself. That instead see that you have a divine purpose to be here, and it's just been a little bit mixed up. And,
Yeah.
don't punish yourself, don't put guilt, shame, blame, all this, and say, oh, now I'm a people pleaser. That's not what I was supposed to be, and I'm wrong, and I got it all wrong. It's the same. It's almost the same energy. You just need to switch it a little bit, and then it will be perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's so fascinating to me, like all the ways that I get caught in my mind and I see it in other people as well. And it's even the self-judgment, it's like a way that our mind tries to cope with these, I don't know, just all the fear that's inside of us. There's so many, the more that I like sit in my own journey, it's like all these different ways that like the blaming, the judging, the whether it's like other people or myself, the shame, um, are just like little distractions to keep me from noticing that actually there's just like this really deep fear inside of me that I like don't feel comfortable sitting with. I don't know how to look at it. I don't know what to do with it. And yeah, I think like the people pleasing and the perfectionism, I think people will like start to realize, oh, there's something like not quite right. And that's like, okay, this is something that might not be quite right. And then hopefully that will like draw them in enough. And then we probably won't talk about people pleasing or perfectionism at all. It's just like the learning to sit with the fear, learning how to meet the fear with compassion, learning how to yeah, just like cultivate a little bit more spaciousness for love inside. And it sounds really simple to say, but I feel like it's a challenging practice when so much of surviving has been doing the opposite.
Mhm. I think it's the same. Now we're talking about perfectionism. Uh, it's it's the same thing again. We are here because we know that the universe is perfect. Perfect. There is nothing wrong.
Yeah.
There's no mistakes in universe. There can't be. Everything is perfection. And we got a little bit lost, so we made it into I have to be perfect instead of I am perfect. So it's again the same thing. We just got a little bit a little bit lost in it. And if
Yeah.
we can just imagine that we are perfect, and perfect does not mean that I don't do mistakes. I am perfect, and the mistakes I'm doing here is because I need to be even more perfect, because my journey, my path, my experience here is perfect according to what I need to learn, and what I need to learn to be able to do what I'm going to do here. And if you want to please people, if you want to help people, then you need to accept that you are perfect and they are perfect, and where they are is also perfect, and there is no wrong or right or better, or it's a journey.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
perfectionism uh, is perfect. Like, and it's true, everything is perfect, but again, if you come from the heart, and you're connected to this never ending life force energy, then perfection is something beautiful.
Yeah.
But if you start to get into the ego, the mind, and judgment, and I'm not good enough, so I have to be even more perfect, and I'm not so perfect, so I can't even follow my passion because I'm not really good enough to follow my passion, so I can't really come in, then you're all mixed in it. So, and a good advice here is to try to follow your passion in every moment. Like when you open your eyes, it's like, ask yourself, what do I want to do? And even if you can only choose between tea and coffee, at least ask yourself, do I really feel for coffee, or do I feel for tea, or do I feel for fruit, or so go with the passion in the small things. And then maybe you have half an hour before you need to go to work or whatever, then ask yourself, how could I best follow my passion during this 30 minutes? Oh, maybe a little breathing exercise, or maybe I just want to meditate, I lay down, or maybe, whatever, so if you can learn how to follow your passion in the small things that you are able to choose from where you are now, then you will get better and better, and you will feel more what you want, and you get used to follow your passion. So from never been doing it to try to find your life purpose in 5 minutes, it's a little bit too big step. So you need to practice in the small thing. If I want to spend some time with a friend, which friend would it be? Just ask yourself, what does my heart tells me that I want at the moment, and then you will get better and better.
I love that. That's such a practical, grounded exercise. And it just like, it's very like you could apply it to any moment. That's really, really wonderful. Because I think the thing that I notice the most with when we get back into talking about like people pleasing and perfectionism, the tendency is to focus all the energy on the external. Like, what does this person want? What does this situation need of me so that I can like maintain this certain image of myself or look a certain way? And what you're saying, like this practice is all about turning inwards and like what's here right now?
Mhm.
What is my heart asking for in this exact moment? I love that. I'm curious. I like to like hear people's sort of journeys of awareness. So did you like has there been a period or like a season of your life where you weren't as tuned into these truths, where you were more like lost in the misunderstandings of giving and serving? Or were you raised with someone that imparted this wisdom on you? I'm just curious about your journey with this.
uh, I would say it has been like parallel paths. So on one hand, I had this feeling since I was very young that I had some kind of connection. I talked to my higher self, but it was most questions like, why is it like this? Why is it like that? And then then I have been into everything terrible. My parents had a lot of problems, and I had a lot of teenage problems, and I've been into bad relationships. I have been experiencing all of, not all, but a lot of bad stuff. But I always had this feeling of there is something bigger, and I'm here to do something. But to start with, I thought I had to do everything on my own. Now I realize that we are more people. So now actually I'm a little bit released. So I don't have to do everything myself. But I have been into really low, totally blind, being in relationship where I behaved very stupid from my point of view now. And I have two daughters, and I had a lot of problems with the oldest one. So we have been in through all that. So um, it has not been, just a walk in the park. But like I said, I never lost this faith of like there is something bigger, there is something more. I have some kind of guidance. I have someone I can talk to, and I'm here to to make this world a better place somehow. That has always been with me, but then I have been into a lot of crazy stuff. Oh.
Yeah. I feel like that's a natural part of it though, like the things that we go through because those experiences allow us to be able to relate to other people and they're,
Yeah.
if you're just like born out of the womb with all this wisdom,
Mhm.
you might seem very smart, but you don't have the actual knowledge or the knowing of the pain and the suffering and the difficulties of it all. Yeah. I'm curious, you said that you always had like this knowing that there's something bigger and you're here to do something. Like, were you raised in like a spiritual or religious type? No, it was just something you knew.
And I was never into religion. I have always been skeptic to, follow the guru religion kind of, control mechanism. Like I say, I can't even have a real job. So I don't want to be stuck in a system when someone tells you what is right and what is wrong and what you can do, and all this about sin and God will punish you. I never liked that part. So no, it was more uh, and actually I didn't even thought about it as divine in any way. It was my higher self, a part of myself that was a little bit smarter, that I could talk to, and I could really hear, because when I got the answers from the higher self, it was so obvious, like, of course. Like, yeah, yeah, you're so smart. So I could always hear when it comes from, I still can hear when it comes from, the smarter part of myself or the lower part of myself. But of course, like all of us, we get down into the whole ego lower, and slave not good enough things here on earth. And I think, like you said, that's why we are here. That's the whole idea with this lower vibration, whatever you want to call it, 3D world, that we can experience things like this. Because if everything is bright light, then there is no experiences. It's not possible. So
Yeah, we need the contrasting things to show what one is and one is not. Yeah. I'm curious, like, because it sounds like at this point in your life, you're very like grounded in these truths and you have this very like embodied awareness of what the different vibrations feel like, or like when you're following something in alignment with your higher self versus something in alignment with the ego.
mm,
And I'm curious, like when that shifted for you, because I feel like in my life, there was definitely a huge season where I was just completely lost in the ego, and I might have like moments of clarity, but I would quickly fall back into that being my main reality. And then now, like things are shifting, and it seems to be like the scales are opting more towards a little bit like more conscious awareness is
mhm.
taking over versus ego. So, like, was there something that happened in your life that like pushed the scales the opposite way? Or do you think it was just like maturing in life? Or did you just have enough of certain experiences where you're like, I got to do something
all, all,
different?
all,
Like,
all, all of that, I think. No, but I find the person, I found a book, I saw a movie or something that woke up something, and also society was getting worse and worse. And when I was like 18, I said, I'm not watching news anymore because it's only bring me down. Why should I watch it? If I can't do anything about it anyway, I better not even take it in. And of course relationship, and I realized this was not good. And no, so I think a lot of things, and also in periods I have been more, into spiritual stuff, and then in periods I've been less in there. And now the last like eight years, it has been so much going on in the whole whole universe and on the planet, and more spiritual, channels and people that I can listen to and get inspired from. And also more and more people talk about this. So, and when I hear someone talking, I can say, yeah, this resonate with me, and this resonate with my picture. And then I can listen to another person, and then I pick things from everywhere and put it to my image. And uh, a lot of people now are getting more and more into my vision. I can see other people say, yeah, we start to get more and more the same image. It has been a little bit all over the place. And of course, I listen to people, and then I say, no, this is not for me anymore, because no, you're going another way. But I have found more and more people that I can really listen to, and I agree to more and more about what they are saying, and the rest I take away, and which makes my image more and more clear. So I get more and more grounded, and yeah.
yeah, it sounds, I just hear a lot of discernment. Like your discernment skills are just like razor sharp. You can
Mhm.
just tell in an instant, like,
Mhm.
this is for me, this is not for me. And you just slice it wherever it's at.
But again, it's not analyzing, it's in here. Does this resonate? So I ask my higher self, or my heart, not my not my ego brain, that is this, does this match into the picture? Does it align with the, does it come from heart? Does it come from ego perspective? Is there someone here wants to just make money? It's like, or does this really feel, is it aligned with all that I have learned that I think is right for me? And yeah, and it's the same before we do our session. I'm just telling universe to help me, so I can, give whatever I should give you. And I did like a short meditation, just ask what should I talk about, and the ding ding, and I got it delivered, and it was okay.
Yeah.
So now I just trust that whatever will help me to do whatever I'm supposed to do in this call. So
Yeah.
I don't try to, do something, be someone. uh, I'm trusting that whatever is necessary will come through somehow.
Yeah. I love it. I'm so inspired, and I'm also really curious. Like I just want to pick your brain because I'm curious, like, does your mind ever come in and start trying to tell you stories about how you need to perform or do this certain
Yeah.
thing or whatever? And like how do you meet that? Like how has that changed? Because there must have been a time in your life where you believed all the stories, and now it seems like you just kind of take it as a grain of salt and trust in what's something bigger. Like, how do you meet the mind stories when they come in with all their fear and doubt?
But very often, if it comes from a lower energy, it's negative. It's quite easy, when I start to feel unsure, insecure. When I have a new client coming for a retreat, for example, and when I got the feeling like, oh, I don't really know what to do, and then I immediately realized that this is lower energy. So and then I can talk to myself, and very often I can then say, why is this happening with this person? And very often I can then transcend it to use it, because maybe this person is also making other people feel uncomfortable or insecure in this person's presence. So I can look at it as information, both about myself, and then I can say, okay, why do I feel this? And can I transcend it into, more love? Can I be open? Or could I even use it, uh, and present it in some way to this person, in a way so it can be helpful, because maybe what she's doing to me, maybe she's doing to somebody else as well without knowing it. So it's always a game between people. So because like you say, you can try to take my energy now, and hopefully I can, by just throwing the energy out here, I hope that you can take your roots and suck in whatever you need. But in another person's present, you can start to feel other things. And as a coach, I can both learn something about myself, but I can also use what is happening inside of me and with me, and my monsters, or if they are coming, it might be information that can be useful as a coach as well. So I notice it, and I ask myself, where is this energy coming from? Is it low vibration or is it a high vibration? Is it pure love? And if you start to think anything negative, then it's not pure love. And is it possible to, boost it with love so that it can transform? uh, you can analyze it and see, is there anything here that I still need to work on? Maybe I'm not good enough things, and then I need to get that energy up, so then I can go deep dive into this emotion and say, okay, now I don't feel good enough. What is it? What is it that is repeatingly coming into my mind? And instead of running away from it, I go into it, and I desiccated. I really look at it from all directions to see what can I do with it, and then I just send a lot of love to it. Like, I heard this is very good. If you look at it as a little child, this energy is still a part of me that is a little child that is afraid of something, and needs to be supported by an adult, and it needs a big hug and a lot of love, and then very often it just goes away, and then it's gone again. And then if I have an emotion coming again, that I'm doing the same. So I think it's about transforming it, but again, from the heart. Because if you start to judge it, oh, I'm not supposed to feel like this, this is not good, this is not, I'm not a good coach because now I feel like this, and then you're lost in your mind again.
Yeah.
So be with it, feel it, walk into it, bathe in it, love it, and embrace it. And if you can analyze it from the heart, if you can use the brain to support the heart instead of use the brain taking you out away from your heart connection, then you
Yeah.
can analyze it and say, oh, how can I use this? Then you're still in this energy, but you look at it from a mental perspective, but then your mind is a servant to your heart energy instead of the other way around.
Yeah. Oh my
was,
gosh, I love that.
was that a confusing answer? I felt like
No, it's perfect. And it ended with like a really great visual for me because I definitely like see things. And so I love that. It's almost like if you're going to use your mind to meet whatever's inside of you, like wash your brain in love first, like bring this up and so that it's, yeah, like brainwash your own self with love if you're going to use your mind for anything. I love that. And everything I'm hearing too is just like it's the opposite of self-abandonment, right? So it's like anything inside, like there's not turning away, there's not judging, there's not numbing out to not face it, but it's turning towards it, it's noticing it, it's getting curious, it's meeting it fully with all your attention and love, but not getting sucked into what's there, but like holding it instead of becoming it. Yeah. Wow. I just love the way that you speak about it is so embodied. And I think we can find little memes and images online all day long that are like, just be with the feeling, don't become the feeling, but it's just like those words feel kind of empty sometimes.
Mhm.
But when you're saying it, it feels very robust and full, and I love that. Yeah. And it seems like um the more you do that, the less sticky it becomes,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Like in the beginning, it might feel like very uncomfortable and like kind of difficult, but as you do it more and more, it's like I don't need to be afraid of anything that comes up because it's always here for for my better good, right? Like
Mhm.
to just promote more love inside.
Yeah, everything is perfect.
Everything is perfect. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I always think about the forest and like the trees that are growing sideways and the ones that have fallen over and the logs that are rotting, and that's all
Perfect.
perfect. Yeah. Wow. This is so great. I'm trying to see if there's anything else that's coming up for me that I'd like to ask, or if there's anything that you have on your heart. Hmm. It's been so, yeah, just really enlightening. I really appreciate everything you've shared. I
Cool.
don't think I have.
Only thing I'm feeling is like uh, you should meditate and try to, be in this state of mind a few times every day so that you really boost yourself so that you get used to that energy because then you also feel you notice much quicker if there is an alien coming into that love bubble, a negative thought or anything negative. The more you get used to fill your bubble with this love and light every day, then immediately if there's something negative coming, you detect it and you can say, okay, let's have a look at this. And then you can transform it. So give
Yeah.
yourself the time to really meditate, be in the state, because you can feel, I can feel that you can feel the energy. So
Yeah.
remember the energy and make it be you more and more and more. Then you can more easily detect whatever monster is trying to get in there, and you can deal with it and transcend it.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. I've definitely been, I have like a meditation practice, but oftentimes it feels like just an observation deck.
Mm.
So I don't bring a lot of intention to it besides just being here with like what's coming up. Um,
But you can
but
do like love bombing to yourself.
yeah, I
Mm.
love that. I love that so much. Yeah. Yeah. And you're right. It's super powerful, especially if you do that like first thing, then you kind of set the tone for the day or like set the baseline of the energy. And then anytime it shifts, you can notice because you already set yourself up for noticing. I love that. Wow. Thank you so much, Mia. This has been amazing. I
Yeah, it
appreciate
was
you like
really nice
imparting
to
your
talk to you.
wisdom.
And where what will you do with the material? Are you going to write a book, or is this only for you, or will you present it? How will you use it? What are your plans?
Um, you know, I don't know. At the moment, I feel like I'm working towards just creating some sort of offering, like a way to do coaching or mentoring for women who are struggling. But I'm not 100% sure what it's all gonna turn into.
Okay, so maybe we need
Yeah.
to have another talk about what to do with all this.
Yes,
And
yeah, I'm kind of
maybe if people want to contact you or whatever, but we can do another with you.
yeah, absolutely. Yes. I am on social media, so I do like post content around these types of things. My Instagram and threads and all the things are Rebecca's Mind Soup. Um, but yeah, to be continued.
Yes. Nice. It was
Thank you
really
so
nice
much.
to it feels like we met even if it's on internet, but it was really nice. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mia.
Thank you.